So today I'm going to make some homemade beef jerky on the pellet smoker. Now, if you haven't tried making homemade jerky, it is way better than the stuff you buy in the store that's packaged up. So what I'm starting off with, you can use almost any type of meat really, but this is a top round roast that I bought. So what I'll do is I'll just cut it up into pieces. You can cut it basically however you like. You got to make them pretty thin though. I'd say, around an eighth to a quarter of an inch, something like that. So what I'll do is I'll take the strings off. I'll cut it up nice into small pieces, maybe trim up the fat a little bit, and then we'll season it afterwards in a bag, let it sit for a while and marinate, and then we'll throw it on the pellet smoker. So here I got the meat all trimmed up into nice pieces to start marinating these. So I just, can cut them into basically however big or wide pieces you want. Cut them pretty thin. I mean, they're still probably kind of on the thick side. Unfortunately, I don't have a meat slicer, so I gotta get me one of those. Trimmed all the fat off over here, which was actually quite a bit of fat, as you can see. So I trimmed up all the fat. I got this all cut into pieces. So now what I'm going to do is throw these in a big plastic bag, and I'm going to start to marinate them, and I'll show you how to make that in just a second. So now we're ready to mix up the seasoning in the bag. So what we have here is a 1/3 cup of soy sauce. We have a 1/3 cup of Worcestershire sauce. I have a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And then I'm going to add about 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder. I'm going to do another 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder. And then I'm going to use some coarse black pepper. I mean, that's up to you if you like it. So I'll put in probably another 1/2 tablespoon of this. So after we get all these mixed together in here, close up the bag, move around, just shake it all up good. I like to squeeze them and just get everything blended in all together real nicely. And I'll sometimes leave this out on the counter for like an hour or so. I think it kind of helps marinate it quicker when it starts to warm up slightly. Or you can throw it back in the fridge. It doesn't matter. You can throw it in the fridge. You can marinate it overnight. Do whatever you want as far as that goes. I usually only marinate it for an hour or two. I make it pretty strong, the marinade, so it really soaks into the meat pretty quick and gives it flavor fast. I don't want it overly overpowering, so usually an hour or two, it seems pretty decent just doing that. So after you mix it up real good, just let it sit or put it back in the fridge for a while and just let it marinate and soak in for a while. Then after that, what I'll do is after an hour or so, I'll turn on the pellet smoker and just put it at the smoke setting. And what I found before, it usually takes about 4 to 5 hours of smoking this, and every couple hours or so I go outside, flip them over, move them around a little bit because you have your hot spots on the pellet smoker and whatnot. So we'll get back after we put these on the pellet smoker. So I have this pellet smoker going. I set it at 200 degrees. I put the strips of meat in, put the bigger pieces on the hot spots of the smoker because some spots are hotter than others, obviously. So I'll let these smoke for a couple hours, come back, check on them, flip them around, move them around in different spots, and we'll see how they look then. So I'm about 1 hour into this. I just flipped them over, moved them around a little bit. They're cooking pretty good. So we'll let them go probably another hour. I'll move them around again and keep cooking. And I'd say within probably 4 hours or a little less, they'll be all done. So I just took these off the pellet smoker. They've been smoking for about 3.5 hours. So now what I'm going to do is put them in a resealable plastic bag and let them sit at room temperature for about an hour. And after that, I can basically refrigerate them. I like to eat some of them actually hot off the grill, or warm I should say, since it's cooking at such a low temp. And we'll come back and see how they look after they sat for a while. So the beef jerky, I just took out of the bag. I'd let them set in a sealed bag for an hour at room temperature. And if I were to do this again, I would have just marinated it longer. I only did it for about an hour because I was in a rush, but definitely let it marinate longer. I would say probably 5 hours or so. So it has a little more of a mild taste to it, but they still came out excellent. So the overall cooking time, I think it was about 3.5 hours to do these. Of course, is going to vary on everybody's smoker or whatever you use. And I cook these at 200 degrees. But they came out excellent. Like I said, maybe next time I'll marinate them longer. But other than that, they came out really good. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.